when I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals.
Would you guys like to introduce yourselves to your huge fans?
You guys don't look that big. I'm Ben.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Wayne.
I'm Dan.
And we are...
Imagine Dragons.
Just a little improv.
I had no part in that.
So these are truly some of your biggest fans in Winnipeg. They were calling, tweeting, Facebooking, texting, stalking us for invites. So thank you for joining us, because we're welcoming you to our humble abode. So I guess I'll start things off. Sold out show tonight at the Garrick. Sold out North American tour. Playing pretty well every festival possible this summer, and it's only March, so you're already on the schedule for those. Do you ever look back to, a few years ago and think, when did this happen?
Absolutely. Pretty much every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
That's the first thing you think?
Definitely. It's like it's a dream. What we're doing right now. We wouldn't want to do anything else.
I can think of a couple things. Selling donuts. I feel like.
You just want to sell donuts?
I've always wanted to sell donuts.
Like at a donut stand?
No, yeah, I've like Dan's Donuts. And
that's good.
So you want to go to bed at 7:00 p.m. and wake up at like 1:00 a.m. and make donuts
and eat donuts all day.
And then
it could be a nighttime donuteria.
Donuteria.
Everyone needs an all-night donut
That rolls
stand.
off the tongue.
Sounds like diarrhea, but
donuteria.
Might not want to call it that.
Basically, you want to be able to make donuts and eat them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Wayne. Yeah.
And I'll just say, your album, Night Visions, is probably in my top 3 right now. Like, every time I listen to it, I hear something new to relate to, or just the melodies, everything about it. It just sounds fresh every time I turn it on, if that makes sense.
So who are we losing to?
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't want to just tell you you're number 1, because then you'd be like, are you lying to suck up to us? It's okay, you're number 1 on my list right now. When it comes to writing your songs, is there a point where you stop yourselves from being too personal? You don't want to give too much away, or do you just kind of lay it all out there for the fans?
Yeah, lyrically, I think that, I write a lot of things metaphorically for that reason. And a lot of times, when people ask what songs are about, I don't usually get that much into detail, just because a lot of my favorite songs growing up, I would have kind of a personal connection with it and have in my mind what I thought it meant. And then I would watch an interview with my favorite artist, and he'd be like, yeah, that song's whatever. To me, I wrote it about like my ex-girlfriend who I hated. And I was like, what? I thought that song was like about empowerment and
so much
and
deeper.
it kind of ruined it for me. So no, I definitely always am writing from a pretty personal place, but I try to keep it pretty personal.
Keep the mystery alive. All right, do we have any questions of the audience? I'm assuming yes. Don't be scared. Any questions? Anything at all? Well, pretty well anything at all?
We're gonna ask you questions if you don't ask us questions.
It's true.
When I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I'm curious, why
I can't tell if he's joking.
No, we had an assignment in school in 2nd grade where we had to write a letter to our future adult self. And my 2nd grade teacher kept the letters and then came to our high school graduation and gave them to us. And I opened it later, and it was this letter to myself about how I was going to be a professional musician touring the world. And my 2nd grade teacher is actually coming to our show in San Francisco to see us play, so it's kind of cool.
What about the rest?
Yeah, I knew pretty early on, not quite as early as Ben, that I wanted to be a professional musician, but I think around the beginning of high school, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Of course, I never really knew it was going to be on this large of a scale, so this is pretty surreal and awesome.
When I was 12 years old.
I like your solid ages. It's like you wrote on the calendar, this is the day I decide.
No, yeah, it's kind of funny. I was at a wedding reception with my dad, and neither of us wanted to be there, and so we were just sitting there eating cake, and he just happened to bring up so what do you want to do with your life? I was like, I mentioned a couple things that I was interested in, mostly video games and stuff. I want to be a video game tester. Like every boy does at that age, probably. But
except for me.
But But he was like, oh no, you should do something in music. You have a talent for music, you should do it. And I just sort of thought about that and was like, yeah, I'm going to do something in music. And that's what it's been ever since.
So first Grammy, Dad is the first one you're thanking. And
Absolutely.
the cake. Keeping
Absolutely.
you company at that boring wedding.
Exactly.
No, and I wasn't like these guys. They all went to Berklee School of Music, Boston, so they were pretty well set on, I think, doing music. I mean, it was all I had done my whole life, but I never really thought of it as a career, or at least I'd never told anybody that I was going to do it, just because I felt like, it's like that one friend that you have in high school who's on the football team who's like, yeah, I'm going to be in the NFL, and everybody's like, yeah, and then when he turns his back, everybody's like, bah, Sam thinks he's going to be in the NFL. You know what I mean? You're not going to tell your friends like, oh, I'm going to be a rock star when I grow up. You know what I mean? Like, you don't. So I just thought, I never took it seriously. I was going to go into the FBI, was what I wanted to do, which is a really different route, and just one thing kind of led to the next. I was doing it on the side, and it just started to take off on its own. So I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it 100% and take it as serious as, taking any career. And that's why I tried to go find the most serious dudes I could find, albeit they were pretty ugly, but I thought, at least they're pretty
I think
serious
a lot of
about it.
people in the audience would disagree with you.
Yeah.
So for you, between the FBI and donut making and musician, you kept your options, pretty open.
Yeah, well, I mean, Donut Man was first choice, but yeah.
It goes right into FBI too, pretty nicely.
Donut, FBI. No, a musician. Actually, I told my mom that, when I started to look into the FBI and I went to a seminar and stuff, my mom sat me down and was like, are you sure that you could live with yourself if you had to shoot somebody and you killed somebody? And I was like, whoa, Mom, geez, it's dark stuff. And then and then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know if I could. Maybe I could. I think if, I don't know. I had this big old philosophical thought in my head. And then music started to take off and I was like, all right, Mom, I'm going to be in a rock band. And she's like, whoa, wait. I think you could have shot someone and been fine with it. FBI for sure,
So you guys have had your songs used in movie trailers. How does it feel the first time that you see that trailer and you're like, oh, we are representing something huge right here?
It's pretty awesome to be in a movie theater and see a trailer with our music on it. It destroys the suspension of disbelief, is what I'll say, because when I'm in a movie theater, I kind of like to have my universe go away, and I'm really invested in what's on the screen, and nothing jolts you out of that more than hearing your music. Like, whoa, how's everyone reacting to this? Is it working?
Covering your face in case
You really are.
recognizes you.
Yeah, you would think that you would like stand up and be like, whoa, that's me, but it's really not that. You more just like, does it seem like people like this? What's the person over there think? I think Wayne you were telling us the other day there were 2 in a row.
Yeah, I was in a theater with a friend, and it was The Words, and I think it might have been Perks of Being a Wallflower. Those 2 trailers played back to back, like while I was waiting for my movie and eating popcorn. I just kind of shrunk.
He stood up and he was like, whoa.
Yeah. That's definitely my
Popcorn in
personality.
the air.
The second time he stood up and did it, it was really embarrassing.
That's my
Okay,
song
man.
again. Booyah.
People were booing. They hated the trailer. It was awful.
This movie looks great, but that song is
They
terrible.
actually brought tomatoes from home and threw it at the screen.
Knowing it was going to happen.
Rotten Tomatoes. No.
I just want to double check about how much longer do we have for questions, etc. 5 minutes, and then we can do the pictures and all that. Okay. More questions. Oh, see, now you're getting brave, right there.
It's an anagram. So yeah, we had when we sat down together and we were thinking of a band name, we came up with a word or phrase that we all kind of agreed on that had some sort of meaning to us, but we didn't want to call the band by it for one reason or another, and so we decided to make an anagram, which is where you kind of switch the letters around, and we scrambled them up and happened upon Imagine Dragons, and it just kind of stuck. And yeah, we weren't going to keep it a secret, but then like I don't remember how it even started. We just like saw our parents or something, and they were like, well, why is the name Imagine Dragons? We were like, well, it's a secret, Mom.
Suddenly you turn into teenagers. You're like, no,
Yeah.
we're not telling.
And then we just decided to keep it a secret, just because, you know, as an artist, you're exposing yourself everything, you know, all the time. So it's kind of nice to have one thing that the four of us kind of have kept together for 4 years, and also we just enjoy hearing our fans guess their different anagrams, and so we thought people would guess it really quick because
Maybe they have.
and maybe they have, but there happens to be like over 200,000 or something, and that's only in English, which we haven't said what language it's actually in.
You're lucky because
Just saying.
anagrams usually end up just letters, a mess.
Yeah.
So you could have been like a journalist's nightmare. Them having to spell out your name. Welcome. Awesome. Questions in the back? At the very back?
Yeah, the video for Radioactive, we wanted to do something a little different, which we did. But yeah, we didn't want the run-of-the-mill. We got tons of different scripts submitted to us from different directors, and we went through all of them, and we literally read every single one of them. And it just so happened that, you know, we didn't want, a lot of them were like, you're in a post-apocalyptic world and a zombie comes out and you chop its head off and sing Radioactive, and we were just like, that's not inspiring to us, and it's very predictable. We wanted something that was a little more off the wall, and a lot of our favorite videos growing up were like by the Foo Fighters, who, you know, don't always take themselves too seriously, which I think is also important as an artist. I think there's some times where videos call for, you know, something that's very serious, and we'll have videos like that, but we're also, you know, we also want to do something a little more creative. Plus, we all loved The Labyrinth growing up, and we also liked Fight Club, so we wanted to kind of bring those two worlds together. And so, yeah, when we read that script, we were like, wow, this is weird. And then Lou Diamond Phillips reached out and was like, I want to be in it. And we were like, okay, this is really weird. Like, let's, okay, 2 weirds equals right, so let's do it. And that's kind of how it happened.
I like that. One more question. Now at the back.
I was going to mark to one, but maybe like one artist that the most influential to your guys' power.
The Beatles.
Arcade Fire.
It's another one of those things where if I was sitting there,
I knew you were going to say that. That's such a scapegoat. I'm just saying, like, you should,
I-
like, be your own person, you know?
I am my own person. What are you talking about?
He is Ben.
Beatles, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you just make up something else so you don't have to say the same thing as him? Just lie.
I don't want to lie.
I'm gonna go with Bruce Springsteen on this one.
So, some Springsteen fans. All right, I think this is the portion where you guys want to meet them, maybe? I don't know. That was a delay. Do you guys want to meet them? All right, we're gonna do some photos in a somehow organized fashion with this big group. Do we have a camera? So we have a camera of our own, and then we'll be putting them on our Facebook page, and then you guys can grab them later for your own use, tag them, all that fun stuff. Cool? All right.
Yay.
Yay! End of the interview portion.